Right. All right. Yay, I am live. Welcome, you guys, back to Growing Gratitude. I am Becca Lori Hector, and this is Growing Gratitude. This is my weekly live stream where I talk to you guys about the challenges of being an autistic adult alive right now. And I also talk to you about the things that I'm grateful for each week that kind of get me through in the hopes that if I continue to work on my attitude of gratitude, all right, and I continue to grow my gratitude on a weekly basis and lead by example for you guys, that we will all grow the gratitude in all our lives. So that is my hope with growing gratitude, and welcome back to it, you guys. As you can see, I'm inside once again. So I have given up the idea and notion that growing gratitude needs to be outside. This is something that I had wanted it to be. I had originally started being back alive as Becca's backyard, very, very long time ago. And in that one, the whole idea was, oh, I'm outside in my yard and you're just kind of having coffee with me and chilling out with me and just talking about life, right? And I want this very much to have that vibe. But it is not agreeing with being outside right now. It is raining out today. So once again, any idea of doing it outside is off the hook. So I guess I'm going to let that go and we'll just kind of float with it. And if the universe lets us be outside, we'll be outside on those days. But today is not that day. Today I'm back in my office because it is once again not inviting out there for us. I would probably get stuck in some kind of crazy monsoon the way things have been going so far. Any case, I've also been doing some thinking about kind of what I'm going to do with this live stream, where I want to see it go, where it came from, and all of that stuff. And um, something that I've really been thinking about was that I didn't really announce that I was doing my live stream or coming back to live streaming anywhere on my social media. I just kind of told a small group of people, and I figured, if people are still subscribed to my channel, there's a handful of folks. Maybe they'll come back and they'll be excited to see live streaming again. And then that way I can kind of get my sea legs under me and remember what it's like to do a live stream every week. Let it kind of become what it's going to become. And then maybe I'll start inviting people to join us. In any case, along those thoughts, I was like, you know what? When I used to do Growing Gratitude, I used to take notes. I used to take copious notes during the week about kind of events that were happening, challenges that were happening, thoughts that they led to, right? And well as the gratitudes that I wanted to do. And so I decided to do that this week and sort of see how that fits with us. I do really want to excuse that my nose is so itchy right now. I just really have to crazy itch it. I'm trying to be all gentle about it, but something is itching my nose. Anyway, hey Rudy, glad to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's another thing that I want to make sure that I do, speaking of, is that when I'm here and I'm doing Growing Gratitude, the whole point is for me to connect with you guys. And I want to connect with you guys. So make sure you get into chat. I don't care if you're talking to each other in chat, if you're talking to me in chat, if you're talking about what I'm talking about in chat or something else, or if you're just in chat sharing your gratitudes and your challenges to keep yourself accountable. Whatever works for you, but know that chat is available and I'm doing my best to watch it throughout the live stream, of course. So that is what I'm up to today. So I'm not even going to pretend, just like I never used to pretend, that I'm keeping notes. So, yep, here's my keep notes for today's episode. I had some really big thoughts, and I don't know that these will 100% make sense, but I think that I'm going to try this out as a format for myself. And I remember that it was really fulfilling to have some structure to it and to know that you guys would count on being here. So I'm going to kind of try to stick with this for a little bit and let it figure itself out and if it's any good and stuff like that. So here we go. So today is 8/18. It is Sunday 8/18. And I want to tell you that today and this week as a whole, my gratitude, my overall gratitude theme for this week is that I'm grateful for the tools that I built into my life for myself. And I know that sounds like a very long gratitude and sort of a sweeping umbrella. But when I looked at all the things that went on this week for myself, and I looked at all the things that were going on in my life in general, this is what kind of stood out to me is that I'm really grateful, even though I'm not going through the easiest time right now. And I don't think anyone ever feels like they're going through an easy time. I don't know that really exists. or that I've ever known it. But in any case, I'm really just grateful that I've built certain tools into my life so that I have them to rely on when things aren't going so great, right? When they're kind of and so when I'm in a transition, as I've been in, two of the tools that I rely on to kind of steer my ship, so to speak, and to help me get through the hard days and to help me stay aligned with what it is that I'm trying to do, are my F word and my mantra. If you've taken my course, Self Defined Living, which is really tied to this live stream in a very special way, you're getting a window into it when you join the live stream, by the way. But when I do my course, two of the tools that I talk about with people are your theme for the year, right? Picking a theme for the year, and also picking a personal mantra for what you're going through and for what kind of gears you and keeps you motivated, right? The job of this mantra is for it only to make sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. And the other part of this mantra business is that it needs to be something that truly motivates you. You know how sometimes you hear a song or you read a poem or a chapter in a book or even come across a quote on the internet, and for whatever reason it super resonates with you and you're like, yeah, that, right? That's a mantra. That's what you're looking for. And then your F word for me is your theme for the year. So really, when I started out on this journey, I gave up on resolutions. They don't work. Nobody sticks with them. And it wasn't really working for the big setup that I was trying to do in my life. What is working for the big setup of what I'm trying to do is to pick a theme. What is a theme that I want to work through this year that will be a guiding theme, right, through my entire year? And when things get stuck and I feel unaligned, I want to look to this theme or this word, right, for myself. That's what I use as a word. And that will hopefully guide my thoughts, right, and bring me back in line. So every year I pick an F word. That's sort of my little joke with myself. It started out as kind of a joke, and my very first word was forgiveness. And I started there, and ever since I've been picking a word that begins with F that is an action word, so a verb to keep me moving throughout the year. So this year, my word, and I put that on every year I put it on a bracelet. You can put it on whatever kind of reminder you'd like, right? And you put it on here, right? And I wear it all year long. And then when the word changes over, I change it out, right? As I pick my new word for the year to come. So here we are in 2024. And my current word, the word for this year, is forge, as in forge ahead, as in forge your own path, as in don't forge a check. Don't do that. That is not what I mean. But to forge ahead, right? To really build my own path, to not look for other people's paths to follow, but instead build my own, right? Because the path least traveled, right? That's what I'm looking for in my life, right? And so the word forge very much resonates with me about that. It resonates with me about that idea that what I really want out of life is something very specific to me, and therefore that path doesn't exist yet. And I must forge it myself. And that keeps me really motivated. It helps me make decisions between things, which are the things that are working, right, to forge this path, and which are me kind of falling in line, right? And so that's my word for this year. And then my current mantra, because sometimes I need to shift mantras wherever I'm at throughout the year. My current mantra, right, is that I trust my future self. That's what I say to myself now. I trust my future self, meaning that I've done so much work on myself and I've made such an effort to be self aware and I've built such a life around that self awareness, right? That I trust that my future self will take care of me, right? And because I trust that my future self will take care of me, I get to feel safe staying here in the present. I don't wander off worrying about decisions I have to make in the future. I don't worry about what might be going on or decisions that may be made by other people, right? I just don't do those things. Instead, I say, I trust my future self will be able to take care of that and make good decisions when I get there, right? And in the meantime, here I am in the here and now. and I'm going to be here, right? I'm going to be as present as possible in the here and now because this is when I have control over everything. This is when all the decisions get made, is here in the present. And because I've lived such a traumatized life, I'm really, really needing to work on this piece, right? Because I definitely, right, am a worrier. I'm a planner. I am a preparer. I'm an overthinker. So when you're all of those things, it's really hard to just say to yourself, man, I trust my future self to take care of it. I'm going to do nothing about it in the now, right? And that's like crazy talk some of the time. And so I'm really, really working on it. It's kind of the idea of just float, right? Which was one of my earlier F words. Learning to just float along with things as they come to you instead of chasing them so actively, right? So in any case, let me refer to my notes so that I don't get too off track. That is my mantra, and that is my word. So if any of you are out there and you've taken the course with me, or you're someone like me who does this kind of a thing by yourself, personal development type thing, feel free, hop in the chat, share with me what your words are, share with me your themes, your mantras, the things that keep you going and how you keep motivated to stay focused. I'd love to know what those things are, and that's what chat is for. And if you're watching this on replay, feel free to share it in the comments. I'd love to see you guys there too. So in any case, the whole point of growing gratitude, the whole reason for doing any of the work that I do, teaching personal development, is that my hope is I do it in a way that's autistically friendly, meaning I lead by example, right? And I try to model exactly what it is that I teach other people to do in my life so that I have current examples for you of exactly why and when it's working, right? So here we are growing gratitude. So let me talk to you about the way that my mantra and my theme of Forge, right, really played out in my life, right? And it's a really specific example, and it actually happened today, and it has to do with this live stream. Okay. So here's what that looks like in real life when you're at a crossroads and you're not sure what to do. And you say to yourself, well, let me think about my mantra and let me think about my word and let me see if that helps get me to a decision. It helps get me where I'm supposed to go. Right. And so I realized today that I really wasn't looking forward to doing this live stream today. No offense, you guys. But it's a Sunday and it's rainy and I'm alone today. Antonio's not around. I'm with the dogs. They're lazy. Right. And I was just really enjoying the Sundayness of it all today. And I didn't really feel like talking to anybody, which is what this is for me. It's talking to you guys. And I didn't really feel like talking to anybody. Um, and so I did that for most of the day, but I was like, man, I just don't want to do the live stream. And then I started to really be like meh about it. And then I said to myself, well, maybe I should just cancel it, right? And I'm going through all of these thoughts. And what I realized was that this time of day doesn't work for me. It's Sunday evening for me on the East Coast. And I have the Sunday blues. I am fully traumatized from my years in school. And no matter what my life looks like, for whatever reason, I am like permanently scarred with the Sunday blues. That's part of my own, I think, traumatic life that I live now, my CPTSD and all of that stuff, right? And so when I have the Sunday blues, it's even harder for me to like, I don't know, find the energy, dig it up, right, to do this with you guys on here. So what I thought about was, is there some way that I could fix this whole situation, right? So I looked to myself and I said, well, I trust my future self will make good decisions about whatever it is that I'm going to do with this. So I'm in the here and now, and I have that luxury of feeling safe enough right now to be in the here and now, right? Because it is a privilege for me to feel safe enough to be present and not dissociate or disappear, right? And in that feeling, what is it that I'm really feeling? Well, I'm feeling tired and I'm feeling overextended. And that is making me resent wanting to do the live stream. And that's really how I was feeling in that moment. And so I said to myself, well, forge. I'm forging ahead. I'm building my own path. If I'm building my own path, who decided that the live stream was going to be on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. That would be me. I would be the big decision maker. I had some folks weigh in, but it was one of the many choices that I gave people. So in essence, the fact that I have to do this live stream at 5:30 p.m. on a Sunday evening is nobody's making but my own. And if I'm truly going to be forging my own path, then I get to say, I don't want to do that. It doesn't have to be on Sunday evening. It has to be at a time when I have the energy and the spoons available to do this with you guys. And the fact is that Sunday evening is not it. And with that, I sat down and I thought to myself, okay, well, there's lots of ways people would look at it, but I know for a fact that where my brain is on Mondays is a great place to be. It's really close to Sunday thinking, right? It's still the very early beginnings of a week, if not the end of the other week. And we all know that ends are just beginnings, right? And so, really, doing this on Monday would be a lot better fit for me. And in fact, earlier in the day is a better fit for me. At this time of day, I'm really kind of low energy and tired. And so, morningish, late morningish would be really good. And then I remembered, right, how convenient the world is that after Labor Day, I will be going back to my group coaching calls. And those group coaching calls happen on Mondays at 12 noon. So, don't you know? If I'm already going to have to be in that mindset to be doing this kind of thinking with a group, I might as well link those two things together. So, in an effort to keep my here and now as truly aligned to who I want to be in the life that I want to live, in an effort to forge my own path ahead, I am moving our live stream. I've only had 2 of them so far, and I've got a few of you here, and I'm hoping that folks will catch on to the new time. So, as of this moment, I tell you that next week, I am moving a live stream to Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to put that in the chat right now. I am moving live stream to Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And then when we're done, after our half an hour, I get to head into my private group coaching calls for the folks who are taking the course, and I get to bring it there. And it also means, right, that if you guys are in the course and you're doing the group sessions, you can warm yourselves up by joining the live stream just ahead, right? And so I think it's going to actually be a nicer fit or for any number of reasons to do the live stream on this day. I know my folks over in the UK were having to stay up super duper late to do this time on Sundays, and I think it'll be a lot nicer for them to be in the afternoon. And so for all of these reasons, which started out as this nugget of discomfort, this nugget of ill ease, right, in my setup, it's fixed this simply and totally in my control. And if it's not a good time for folks, folks will catch the recording, right? And that's the way I have to be making decisions. That's the way that I tie it all together, right? And so I hope that makes sense to you if you're watching. I hope that you'll think about the process of having a theme for the year and the idea of having a mantra that keeps you going through those challenges, and how to use them. I would love to know about them. So if you'd like to get in touch with me, feel free to head down to the description of this video. And in the description, you've got links to my website, which I just recently revamped. So if you haven't been to my website in a while, head over there. It's beccalaurie.com. And from my website, you can get to the course. You can get to a contact page. You can get to find out about my research and other publications. You can learn about my services and all of that fun stuff. And soon enough, you will be able to join my Patreon on my website because that's coming too. Big things are coming. Direct links to the course and such are in, of course, the description as well. And you can find me and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Feel free to connect with me there. That's going to be it for me today, guys, here at Growing Gratitude. And I hope that you will see how grateful I am for these tools that I built into my life. Here they are, the F word and my mantra, and they got me through this little bitty challenge. And that's just a tiny example of how these things get me through those hard days. Well, I hope to see you guys next week, next Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on this channel, where I'm going to do the next Growing Gratitude Live. And if you miss it, please make sure to watch the recording. Until then, you guys, make sure to take care of your headspace, take care of your meat suit, and I will be back to chat with you soon. Keep going with that attitude of gratitude. Bye, guys.